All right, today we're diving into something that could totally change how you look at the market. We're talking about moving away from just making educated guesses and starting to make decisions backed by some seriously powerful data. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? You see a trade setup online that looks just perfect. The risk is tiny, but the potential reward is massive. And you're left scratching your head thinking, how in the world did they know? Well, I'll tell you this much, it's not a lucky guess. It's something way, way deeper.
You see, when it comes down to it, there are really two ways to trade. There's the assumption-based approach, where you say, I think the price is going to reverse here. It's a gut feeling. And then there's the data-driven approach, where you can say, the data is showing me that buyers are taking control right here, right now. See the difference?
A lot of popular strategies, things like order blocks, are built on that first approach, on assumption. You draw a box on your chart, and you assume there are a bunch of orders sitting there, just waiting. But is there any proof? Any hard data? Nope. You're basically trading on a hunch, and that can get you into trouble.
So if just assuming isn't good enough, where do we get this hard data? Well, the secret is hiding in plain sight. We have to look inside the price candle itself. A normal candlestick, it shows you the outcome, the open, high, low, close, but it doesn't show you the actual fight that happened to get there.
And this right here is where the volume footprint chart changes the game. I want you to think of it like an X-ray for a candlestick. It literally cracks that candle open and shows you the exact number of buy orders and sell orders that traded at every single price inside it. And all of a sudden, that plain old red or green bar is no longer just a bar. It becomes this rich, detailed story. You can actually see the moment-by-moment battle, the real tug-of-war between buyers and sellers for control. This is how you stop just seeing the result and start seeing exactly who is winning the fight.
Okay. So this thing might look a little complicated at first glance. I get it. But how do we actually read this story? Well, it really just boils down to understanding three simple key elements. First up, the absolute basics. Inside every footprint candle, you'll see two columns of numbers. The numbers on the left, that's all the people hitting the sell button at market. The numbers on the right, you guessed it, that's everyone hitting buy at market. It's that simple. Sellers on the left, buyers on the right. Now, this brings us to our first huge clue. Something called imbalance. An imbalance is what happens when one side, either the buyers or the sellers, just completely steamrolls the other at a specific price. And the best part is, your chart will highlight this for you, automatically pointing out, hey, look here, something big is happening. So what does steamrolling actually mean in numbers? Well, a really common setting for this is a 300% threshold. That means for an imbalance to get flagged, the buying has to be at least 3 times bigger than the selling at the next price, or the other way around. We're not looking for a little advantage here, we're looking for a sign of overwhelming force that leaves a literal footprint in the market.
And the third piece of the puzzle is delta. So if the candle is the battle, delta is the final score on the scoreboard. It's just the total number of buy orders minus the total number of sell orders for that whole candle. If the number is positive, buyers won that round. If it's negative, sellers took control. Delta gives you that one simple, bottom line number telling you who's really in charge.
Okay, so we've got the pieces of the puzzle. But how does this all come together to give you a real, tangible edge when you're about to click the buy or sell button? Let's take this out of theory and put it into a real trade.
This quote from our source material just nails it. Why would you mark a level on your chart and just hope it works? Instead, wouldn't it be so much better to have a level marked because you have hard data showing a huge selling imbalance happened right there? You're not guessing anymore. And like the source says, the chances of that level mattering are now extremely, extremely high.
So let's walk through it. Picture this. Price is dropping, heading towards the key support level you're watching. You look at the delta on those red candles and it's negative, negative, negative. Sellers are clearly in charge. But then, right at your level, bam, a candle closes and you see the delta has flipped positive. The score has changed. That tells you buyers just absorbed all that selling pressure and are now taking over. That is your data-confirmed signal to get in.
And this is how it keeps you safe. This is what helps you avoid those classic trap trades. Where the price hits a level and bounces just a little bit, trying to trick you into buying, but you look at the footprint and the delta is still negative.
The data shows you there are no real buyers there to back up the move. It's like a lie detector for the market.
So you can see, using these charts isn't just about adding a new tool. It's a complete shift in how you see everything. You're no longer just staring at the shadows on the wall. You're finally seeing what's actually casting them.
So at the end of the day, this is the footprint advantage. You're making that crucial move from just assuming to actually confirming with data. You're not just seeing chart patterns, you're seeing the real-time order flow that creates those patterns. This helps you spot real reversals, avoid those nasty traps, and most importantly, you finally understand, with confidence, who's in control, the buyers or the sellers.
And that really brings us to the final question you should ask yourself. The next time you're about to place a trade, just stop and think, is this decision based on what I hope will happen, or is it based on what the data is showing me is happening right now? The answer to that could change everything. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.